Interested in getting more money for your home? Tune into this edition of Really Mary and find out how to do so.
Really, Mary?
Hi, it's Mary Bartos, the Bartos Group of Premier Plus Realty, and it is Really Mary. Today, I'm so excited to introduce my guest, Jack Price from Vision Staging. Jack, the first thing you have to say is your flavor of Really Mary.
Really, Mary? You got to throw the head in there. Really, Mary?
Actually, you do that as well as the prelude to this. So I love it. Anyway, we're talking about staging today, and Jack, with Vision Staging, one of the things I love best about what you guys do is the ability to come into a vacant home and put furniture throughout and make it look beautiful. So talk about what that is, because you've got some really great concepts of how you price that, what you guys do. Let's go ahead and tell our audience what that's about.
Okay. Hello, everybody. Hopefully start out fresh, that everybody's happy and healthy right now and doing well. With that being said, I've been doing business with the Bartos Group for a few years now. We have a couple projects under our belt. Just a quick story about how and what we have going on here. So we actually own two companies, Vision Home Staging and Price Moving. And everybody can say that they're stagers, and there's a bunch of staging companies out there that have a niche and they do what they do. But with our companies and our platform, we have a system in place from the beginning to the very end that makes this whole setup that we do, I'm not going to say easy because it's a lot of hard work, but we have the right tools and the right people in place to make it work. So the way it works, you start off by explaining to the homeowner, the investor, that staging actually has to happen. And there's stats that back it up. We were neighbor guest and we spoke there in Naples about staging at one time. And we had a whole bunch of stagers coming up to us and giving us stats on how fast that it sold compared to staging not staged, or how fast it's sold on the market compared to staging, how fast a customer will leave a listing that isn't staged. And that's key. You can talk about final numbers and everything, which is important in business. But if you can keep the customer in the house longer for them to feel like that's the home for them, that's the key.
Which is really awesome. I love that you talked through that, Jack, because the stat that we've read about it, and I don't have a personal stat, but the one that we've read is 68% of homes that are staged sell for 9% more money. Now, everybody wants more money from that perspective, and versus one that's unstaged. And it's so true, because I have walked into a home with someone where they kind of go through and they're out, versus coming in, sitting on the sofa, looking at the view, sitting in there, feeling like it's their home. You really get them engaged in it much better if there's furniture in the home.
Well said. The time the customer is in the house will allow the listing agent to have a better relationship with that customer. But the key part is it will allow them not to walk around and try to find negatives of the listing. So if the house is echoing because there's nothing in there, there's no carpets or anything, they will tend to cruise through each room real fast, even just pop their head in and look. So if it's staged and it looks beautiful, they'll step into that room and spend more time on each room.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it might be a good point now to kind of share a screen of a house that you actually did stage for one of our clients. It was a spec home. And as you can see, you staged every single room in this home. This home sat on the market, I want to say, for 3 years without selling. And we sold it in about 6 months, maybe.
6 months, yeah, right on 6 months.
Yeah.
Which is good. When you have new construction like that and you have competition, the numbers seem to be a little bit longer. But look at the results 3 years of not being staged, and it sat on the market, and then bam, you came in, staged it. It takes the right decision. There's a lot of investors and homeowners that just don't get it, and that's fine. The results will actually show that they should have. Let me start by this too. When Vision started, we had a certain price point that we were going out and trying to shoot for, and we actually hit that mark, $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 homes, and the numbers were drastically faster than obviously a $2 or $3 million home that's sitting on the market, because you need a certain buyer for that. So that targeted area staging is a home run. The targeted area, when it's 2 million or more, it has to be done to protect the investment. Your numbers on it are exactly right. You get more for your asking value on the listing than if it wasn't staged at all. So I've had a couple incidents where the homeowner met with us, staged it, and it looked more than what he thought he was going to list it for. So they went in and listed it a little bit more and got that price. So we hear these stories all the time about, after they sell it, they call us up and tell us how long it's been. Thank you so much, all that stuff. We've done 98 homes so far. We're almost to the 100 marks. So we definitely know what we're doing. We're a local business. We just bought a brand new facility, loading docks, furniture racks, and everything that we have to make the system that much better. So you can check us out, visionhome.biz, and see different qualities of what we're doing. Now we're staging, $12, $14 million homes, which is a blessing.
That is awesome. And it's not just the furniture coming in. Jack, talk about what you guys do, because you have a different twist. You design and bring in specific furniture for that house.
Yeah, that's a great question. In the beginning, we thought if we were to hold on to our inventory and then put it into a couple different models, then that would be our platform for our business success. When you start getting into the million, $2, $3, $4, even $10 million homes, the customer wants it turnkey. So they want to come down and just bring their toothbrush and move in and have it all ready for them. A number on our 98 homes is about 47% that we sold the whole package to the buyer. Those numbers really intrigued us to the point where now that's what we focus on. Every single project, our designer comes in, they furnish and design per project that you guys throw at us. And then we special order a majority of the stuff that comes in. Now, a lot of the stuff is inventory, like accessories and stuff like this that you can use over and over. But all the stuff that we have hasn't been used personally to where you could sell it as new. So very good success on the resale.
And you actually, another thing is it takes you a little longer to get the staged furniture into the property because you do design for each house.
Yeah, we've had a couple incidents where we're up against another competitor where they can do it in 2 weeks, and they have an inventory of stuff maybe in their garage or warehouse, and they throw it in there. Vision thinks that the seller has one shot to get it right. Okay, because anybody could go run around and grab furniture and throw it in there and throw a couple pictures up on the wall and call it staging, which is fine. There's a lot of companies out there that do that, and they might do one a month or one every 2 months. We're doing, almost 50 to 60 a year. So what we do is a little bit different than what they do. So we have to buy those special pieces. So we ask for a couple more weeks longer. The longer you give us, the better the project turns out.
Without a doubt. And then, and the house I just showed you, all the feedback with the previous agent was the color's wrong, repaint it. The interior paint, retail probably would have been 10 to 15 grand. What we were able to do with staged furniture was in and about the same price. What I love what you do is that variable pricing for both the seller and then the new buyer. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, what we do when we first started out, we have a flat fee. So we have a software program that has an algorithm of the list price, the square footage, and the number of bedrooms. So if you called Vision Home and you're headed to a state or listing appointment, and you know that that house needs to be staged, you could call our office and we could give you a number for staging on that project right over the phone, right then and there. So what we do, we have a flat fee. It sits in the house until the house sells. That allows the homeowner not to gamble too much, and roll the dice to see if actually that's the better deal. Then you have a lot of customers that think they have a hot listing, which is probably all of them, and they think it's going to actually sell quicker. We brought this program in because of our competition offers this as well. So what that is, it's a 3-month program. You pay a lot less upfront, and then after the third month, you make small monthly payments. So if you think it's going to sell within that 3-month period of time, then go for it. It'll save you a lot of money. I like the structure program because it doesn't put the listing agent in between the idea of why we should have staged and why we shouldn't have. So for an example, you paid that monthly fee program, and month 5 or 6, the homeowner's calling the listing agent, now really putting pressure on you. Maybe we shouldn't have staged. Maybe, we should have did this or that. It takes all that out of it. So the
Agreed.
one time fee up front is the way to go. Now, our package also includes, which a lot of our competition, or none of them at this point, offers this part. After we stage it, we pay for the photography. Now, I know a lot of listing agents and brokers and everybody like to use their own person. They have a budget for it and they can do it, and that's fine. But we found we could put our heart and soul into these programs and actually furnish the house beautifully. And then you might have a listing agent walks through and takes pictures with their iPhone and puts that up on the MLS. This is one first-time shot. I explain this to a lot of people. It's like back in the day when you jumped in mom and dad's car and went and did a drive-by, right? That's the first time you see the listing, the home that you might end up buying. So now with today's market, everybody's shopping online first. So those pictures have to be perfect. So we pay for it out of our pocket to make sure that the pictures are perfect. We'll come back and do a twilight shot. We do a couple drone shots from the area above. And then after that, we try to engage into open houses with the listing agent. We'll promote that on our side. Look at Vision Home Staging's new stage that they just did, and it also helps you promote it. So we've vetted out probably 1,200 emails that we have stuck to. We blast that out. We do it on social media. So we help you guys do that. Remember, we're mutually aligned. You have the homeowner, the investor, you have the listing agent, and then you have us. And with our package, we went in there and modeled out the house. We want that thing to sell as fast as possible as well. 1, we get the furniture back. 2, we might have an opportunity to sell turnkey. And then 3, it's just the story and the history of doing that will translate into another sale from that company as well.
You triggered on something that you haven't touched on yet. Selling turnkey. What I love about you is the fact that we can sell a package, right? Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, the package includes everything. I've had a couple people come in and say, well, my wife likes the bedroom and this is a system that's set up for it to be very simple for the couple to move down or the family to move in. So selling that package could be based on whatever the home is. So in the very beginning, we had a format that was 1% of whatever the sale was, we would resell it. But now we're finding ourselves into the higher market, into the $12 million homes that we have been staging. So we have a formula, and what we'll do with the listing agent, we will provide that inventory, very detailed, with every picture down to the candlestick, the towels in the bathroom, whatever SKU is in that house. We'll have a picture, an itemized list, and at the bottom it will have a package sale price. We want the listing agent and the brokers to stay out of that part of the actual sale of the package deal. So
we appreciate that, by the way.
Yeah, we want the homeowner and Vision to do the negotiations. We sell the whole house or nothing. We tried it one time. We tried to sell some stuff, and the customer ended up keeping majority of all the good stuff.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. I just so love that because, if Norris Furniture did a model for one of my clients, a builder, and it was in that 150 to 180 range, 150,000 to $180,000 range. I just had a house that the woman's put over 200,000 into the home.
Mm.
When you come in, you are a fraction of that price to get a whole home staged like a model, and then the ability to sell it at a fraction of that price to the consumer who gets to move in and bring their toothbrush, right?
That's correct. And that's all based on the overhead. I mean, let's talk business and the truth about it. If you were to do a retail budget at some of the local furniture stores, you are at the 120, 140, 160 range. We don't have a retail store with managers and salespeople and all that overhead. We have a system in place to where we share the savings with the buyer. We're buying this directly from North Carolina High Point, just like any furniture store would. And we present that to the homeowner to allow them to take that budget and compare it to them driving around town, going to retail stores and putting the effort into doing it themselves. So the package deal is such a good deal that, like I said, 47% of our 99 homes so far have bought into it.
I can relate to the not driving around to the stores because I am not good at it. Jack, I can't make a decision for my life. The fact that, this is a really family-run business, which I love about what you've done with your family, from all the way from you who had roots in the furniture business down to your youngest son who just graduated high school. There's so much about, vision staging, but I have to touch on one of my loves, which is price moving, right? And what you guys do for our St. Matthew's House food drive every year. Not only do you do work for your, own business, price moving into, vision staging, but you also do moving for others. And then you are a co-sponsor with us on St. Matthew's House food drive.
I love everything that we do with you, Mary. Your whole company is something, and I get chills just saying that. Every time you call me up and ask me to participate in anything you do, it's just yes. I have the emoji thumb up to the Mary Bartos text anytime, anywhere.
I love that, by the way. Thank you.
What we do, besides local retail stores, if you go into a local store and buy a sofa and love seat and it's a floor sample, you have to get your own way to get it off their floor. Their internal system won't deliver that to your personal house. So we have a lot of stores set up in the area. If you go on to pricemoving.southwestflorida.com and see the reviews of Price Moving, that's what gets me in here every day. The reviews that people put on the website is really, really cool. It's not paid customers or friends or cousins or something going on there and talking good about us. We are a 5-star company, probably almost 100 reviews of really, really genuine, true stories about just the little details that we do. The white gloves, shrink wrap and everything. Taking care of people's personal belongings is very important. There's a stat out there, the 3 most bad things that could happen in your life is dealing with, obviously, number 1 is a death of somebody. Number 2 is divorce. Number 3 is moving. So if you can go in there and actually take care of that part of the stress level of your customer and make it happy and see that they're watching you take care of their stuff is really gratifying. I love it.
Yeah, they are all your movers are awesome. We get the opportunity, to deliver food from our food drive to St. Matthew's House that you guys graciously do that for free, in addition to participating with us, helping to defer those costs to get it out to folks. Your guys are just great, including your youngest Kyle and Troy. They're both show up with smiles on and ready to work, and they're hard workers.
Yeah.
And what they do.
I talked about Austin and Troy, and then I have my youngest that you just mentioned, Kyle, he's been with the business the longest. Price moving's coming up on 5 years. Kyle's 19 and he's been doing this stuff when he was 13 or 14 years old, and he loves it. And now he's running the show. He's out there running the whole crew and everything, which is really cool to watch. I love it.
That is so cool. That is so great. Well, I think at the end of the day, what a great asset you are to any person looking to sell here that maybe has an empty home, or better yet, you will go in and move out things out of a home, a whole house, if people are willing to do that, and then move in.
That's right. You
right.
do. You've done this before. You got a lot of good questions.
I know how you guys work, but I love right.
That's a big thing in your business, and I'm glad you brought that up, because you guys get so excited to go get a new listing, and you go there, and let's be blunt about it, the furniture and just the way it's decorated is really, really bad. So that could kill any listing, right? And I'm sure everybody that hears me talk about this understands what I'm talking about. So since we have price moving, we could go in there, make it a situation with the customer where maybe some of it gets donated to St. Matthew's House. We run a lot of stuff down there. We help them move their stuff into another place. And then it gives us a clean slate to come in with vision and do what needs to be done for that listing.
Yeah. Because let's face it, if, you've got people are going to notice how it's decorated. They're going to start online and determine it's not necessarily the bones that they're looking at online. It's, hey, does it look cluttered? Does it look a mess? Am I going to have to go in and remodel? What is that going to do? I can't change a remodel in a short amount of time, but I sure can change the furniture, which changes the whole state of the home. And how it's presented, and when people come in and receive it and love on it and ultimately buy it.
Mary, I know probably over time, but this story just popped up in my head, and I want to share it with your viewers real quick, and I'll make it a short version. There's a piece of property. I won't throw names around. The guy actually knocked down the house, and he built 2 homes parallel. And in that area, there were big estate homes, and they want the big 2-3 acre properties left the way they were. So the guy builds a house in the back across parallel to the property with a long driveway on the left side, and then he builds another one up front. So he put 2 gorgeous properties on this 3 acre lot. And the first house in the back, he went to a local retail store, and he spent $127,000 to stage this house.
Wow.
Now, the builder walked through one of my stages down the street and said, "Who is this?" And the listing agent said, "That's Vision Home Staging. They're new." So they contacted us. We went on our proposal, and we were $37,000. And the guy says to me, and it sounds like he said it yesterday, "What are you going to do? Put IKEA in here for 37?" I said, "Did you see where you got my business card and my information from that house?" And he said, "Yeah." I said, "That's exactly what your house is going to look like." "You could do that for $37,000? "Yes." "Okay." And he signed right then and there. So Vision came in. We staged it in like 3 weeks. About 4 weeks later, we get a phone call that they not only buy all the furniture and sold the listing. The client's very happy, and we moved on. About 6 months later, I'm sitting there drinking coffee with my wife, and I see on Facebook, I can't say the name, but the retail store package deal for $127,000 must leave by Saturday for 25 grand. So now you have the investor that spent 127. Here he is a year later, and he's trying to get rid of this stuff because the buyer doesn't want it. So now he owns it, doesn't know what to do with it. He's trying to unleash it for 25 grand. If he doesn't sell it, he's got to put it in a storage unit. He's got to pay movers. It just creates a big hodgepodge instead of using Vision Home.
That story just reminded me of the fact that if the buyer doesn't want that turnkey package, no worries. You just come in effortlessly, pack everything up the same way you brought it in, shrink wrap it, do all your thing, and take it out. No drama, no nothing, no fuss, no muss. If they want it, because let's face it, who doesn't want to have just to bring in your toothbrush, right, in your bathing suit? Now they have it. for a fraction of the cost. I love what you guys do. I love that, I get a twofer, so to speak. You talked about, Austin and his significant other, our twofer. Well, I get a twofer when I talk to you guys because I get vision staging and I get price moving. And it is such a delight, Jack, to always see you, whether it's virtually or face to face, and to have you be part of our team on a project that we have. So, for Really Mary and for Jack Price, we want to thank you for tuning in today, and we look forward to seeing you here in Paradise, staging your home. Ciao.
Fantastic. Ciao for now.
Ciao for now.